Hello and welcome to my tarot corner. So before we start, I have to say my disclaimer, which I forgot to say earlier. This is a tarot reading. It is a vibrational reading. Everything I say is my own opinion and nothing but. I take my knowledge from the public domain and things that are described in the public domain, and everything I say can and cannot be true. Okay, so before I started this reading, I saw that Camilla has had to cancel an engagement because she's not feeling very well, and apparently she's still recuperating from COVID. And I do know that COVID has, there is a long COVID syndrome, there is a post-COVID syndrome. So I don't know which one of them she suffers, but she's still recuperating. But as you know, I'm not doing any health readings, not for the Queen and not for anyone else, not even myself. So, this is about the fact that in one of the latest engagement that was performed in Clarence's house, apparently there was a picture of the Harkles in a very prominent place, a picture of them from their wedding day, and it was displayed on one of the on one of the tables and was caught by camera. So it was royal watchers, of course, immediately paid attention to that. So the question is why? Why would Charles put a picture of his son and his daughter-in-law in such a prominent place? And I do get all the time that Charles does want his son back in the royal family, whether with or without Meghan, but he does want Harry back. So is this a way of letting Harry know that Charles is still thinking about him, still wanting him back? Maybe, and let's see. That's what I'm going to check here. So I'm going to check the significator card, the hidden influence, and this is a very old time tarot deck called the Greer tarot. Very beautiful deck, vibracious colors. And it is a very loved and celebrated deck. And as you can see in the past few readings, I've been going back to tarot decks that I love using. By the way, when I do personal readings, I always use the Rider-Waite tarot, but for these readings I love using all kinds of decks. It gives me a lot of intuition, and this deck is really very vibracious and beautiful. So let's see what we get. So I'm going to clear the deck first. Okay, so why do Charles and Camilla have a photograph of the Sussexes in a prominent place in the reception room in their house? Why do Charles and Camilla have a picture of the Sussexes in their house in a prominent place? Is there any hidden meaning for putting that picture in such a prominent place? Okay, so we're cutting the deck, and the first card is the significator card, which tells us the overview of the question and the subject, and we get the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so the Eight of Pentacles, that's the card of the apprentice. That's the card of someone who works very, very hard without expecting anything in return. But what does it mean without expecting anything in return? It's not that he's not expecting anything in return. He is working for his reputation. This is someone who is working very hard, knowing that he might not be getting what he wants right now, but he is counting on getting it in the future. So he is working very hard for maybe not a lot right now, but he does intend to get a lot in the future. So this is something. This is about hard work, but this is also about being Sisyphus in a way, about sacrificing in a way. So in this instance, it looks to me like Charles is very diligent with his son, and he's like this apprentice. He does not expect to get what he wants right now, but he is trying to seed of the seeds of return into Harry's psyche in a way, like the Queen who didn't put a picture of the Sussexes in the first Christmas when they still haven't told anyone about the meaning of leaving, but their picture was not on her table, and that was in a way people are saying that was in a way one of the reasons that Harry felt that it's okay to leave. But so because all of these meaning, all of these pictures and stuff like that, they have like a subtle meaning, and the subtle meaning of this picture, it's like Sisyphus, the Prince Charles is not giving up. He is trying right now without expecting an immediate reward, but he is trying in a way to do the apprentice work, and give Harry all kinds of small hints that he still loves him, that he still wants him back, and this is in a way of doing that. So that's the significator card, and the card that clarifies it is the Eight of Wands. So that's another eight. That's interesting because the Eight of Wands, that's a card of speed and velocity. That's a card of being in the right place and in the right time. That's the card of doing the right thing, of having the necessary qualification in order to do the right thing. And both of these cards are talking about qualification and having those qualification. So in a way, this is once again Prince Charles' way of trying to say to Harry, these are the qualifications that you have. This is what you know to do. Now, all eights are cards that are in a way talking about effectiveness, swift things. It's about having patience and wisdom. This is about exceptional work and proficiency. This is about changes and eternity and ability to move to the next step and the opportunity for growth. Both of these, I mean, these are communal attributes to all of the eights. And here we have two cards that are eights. So I can say that the meaning of the eight that is adding particularly to the spirituality of the card of seven, that is adding the effectiveness, the swiftness, the communication in a way, and the patience and wisdom, the ability to adjust to changes. So in a way, this is Charles' attempt to signal to Harry that he wants him back. This is a way of telling Harry, this is what you know how to do. You know how to be royal. And if you look at what is Prince Harry doing right now, he's doing exactly the same things that he has done as a royal, but only expects to get a lot more than he deserves. So Prince Charles is trying in a subtle way to tell him that you need this you need to come back. You need to be in the right place at the right time. This is the right place for you here with us. So in a way, this is what Charles is trying to tell him. And I've been getting that all over. Every time I'm doing a reading about Charles, I'm getting that. So I really believe that Charles wants Harry back. And what can we see in the past? So in the past, we see the sun. So we see the happiness, the abundance, the beautiful sunlight of the sun. Now in this card, we see two people, not one, not a baby like in the Rider-Waite. This card speaks about living without a restriction. This card speaks about happiness, about wealth, about a very good economical stature, but it speaks also about addiction. About ego. And this is also the Father card. So it's not a coincidence that we get this in the past, because this card shows us the happiness that they used to have together as a family, the wealth of the family, the ego of everyone, and the father-son communication, the father-son relationship. So this is why we get the sun. It's a highly spiritual card. It's a major arcana, and this is the past. So the hidden influence here, and the hidden influence is judgment. Okay, so judgment, that's a card of a major change. And as I say many times, you can take the cocoon and the butterfly as the image in your mind, as what do we mean when we talk about the judgment. Judgment, it's a process of change that takes a long time. And you cannot try to have any shortcuts or any way of shortening the process, because the butterfly needs to bang on the sides of the cocoon in order to strengthen his own wings so he can get out and fly. If you open the cocoon before the butterfly is ready, he will die. And that's exactly what we talk about when we talk about judgment. Judgment is a change that is coming. This is a change that will not erase what was in the past. This is something that is added to changes that already happened. But this change is going to take a long time. This is a process that takes a long time. But when we get this card, it means that Harry needs a shake. He needs an awakening in a way. This is what the hidden influence is. This is what Prince Harry is wishing for. He wishes that he could shake Harry. He wishes that he could make him wake. Right now, Harry is like the living dead. And in the Rider-Waite, we see those people that look like zombies, and they're coming out of the grave, and this is how Prince Charles sees Harry right now. He sees him as this living dead, but he wishes that he could see him as this happy family, like someone who is alive, someone who got that awakening, someone who actually found the enlightenment and found the light and understood that whatever he has done all up until now, that was wrong. Someone who wakes up from this living dead situation that he is in right now. So this is the hidden influence, and let's see what is the clarifying card for this card. And we get the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups, that's the artist. That's the card of the page, which is a young energy. That's someone who is in a way a dreamer, someone who fantasizes, and someone who needs mental health therapy. And this is another thing that Charles sees around Harry. He knows that he would wish that Harry would go through this change. He knows that the only way to get him to this enlightenment, to get him to go through that process, is by giving him this mental health therapy, but the right one, not what he professes to have done. He didn't do any work. Mental health therapy, that's a lot of work to do. That's something that means that you need to go through everything that you went through. This is like doing the right thing. Once again, as we were talking about the eights, this is about doing the right thing. And the right thing is to go through mental health therapy and do that in the right way. So what can we see right now in the present? And right now in the present, we see the Empress. So the Empress, that's the mother card. And so that's kind of funny because we got the father card and then we get the mother card. So in the past, Charles was very dominant and had a lot of influence over Harry. And right now, Harry is in this notion of the mother. He cannot let his mother go, and this is because right now he is under the influence of Meghan, who tried in any way to make him look at her as a reincarnation of his mother. This is how she tried to make him see her, and this is how he sees her. When a man says that his mother was dating a man which wasn't white, and because of that she died, which is not true, because we all know that Diana got into a car with a drunk driver, didn't put on the seatbelt, and went on a drive, and there was a car accident that was maybe before, because paparazzi were going after her. But if she had just put on the seat belt, or the driver wasn't drunk, she could have lived. So that was not because she was dating someone who was not white. Now, with every respect to Meghan's biracial roots. Okay, she doesn't look biracial. She never looked biracial. Even when she's trying very hard to tan herself, she doesn't look biracial. And she did everything in her power to erase all of the biracial features from her face. But if we're doing the trying to do the parallel between both of them. So Harry should have been the one chased, not Meghan. But he says Meghan is in danger because she's biracial. And that's like completely illogical. There is no logic to what he says. And he has to understand that. He has to understand that. Now, Meghan was not chased after, not like Kate was, not like Diana was, but he is right now under this impression that Meghan is like his mother, as if Meghan has done everything for him, as if she's the mother of his children, as if she's giving everything she has without expecting anything in return, which is completely bollocks, but that is what he sees. This is what he sees in his mind. Now, here you can see that this empress is sitting here, and there is this, there is the moon here, which usually goes with the high priestess, but we still do have it here because the mother is very, very prominent in this card. Another thing is that we have the falcon here, another way of showing that this is how Harry sees Meghan, as if those vultures are trying to get into her. So this is the energy in which he is right now. So what kind of advice can we give Prince Charles? And we get here the Ace of Cups. Okay, so the Ace of Cups, that's a card of a lot of emotions. And the Ace of Cups speaks about flow, and it speaks about being able to renew your emotions in the material world. This is a card that speaks of the energy of this card is an energy of freedom, of abundance, and the belief that you deserve it. And right now, what I can say to Charles, you need to believe that you deserve more than what your son is giving you. You believe you deserve a lot more, but we can see how emotional it is for Prince Charles. Prince Charles is very, very emotional. And in this card, we see the dove is very, very prominent, because this is like the dove that is going out to see if there is still water in the story of Noah and the ark. And she's like the dove that brings the olive branch. And we are talking about olive branches. And this card, that picture in the living room of Prince Charles and Camilla was in a way an olive branch that Prince Charles was trying to send to his son. So this is one card, and the next card that clarifies it is the Five of Cups. Okay, another very emotional card. I'm not surprised. Five of Cups is a card of despair, but it is unjustified. And this is something that Prince Charles needs to see. This Prince Charles right now, he only sees the the cups that have spilled. He doesn't see the two cups that he has behind. He doesn't see William, Catherine, all of the good things that he had, and what we saw in the Commonwealth ceremony, the way that the Cambridges hugged and kissed Camilla, the way that they were all together. These are the things that Charles should be more occupied with, and not all these 3 cups that are spilled, not the things that he already lost. And as I say many times, in the card of 5 of Cups, there is this fortress here, and this fortress here is catching my eye in this card very much, because this is like a symbol of the royal family, a symbol of that tower that for the Sussexes, that tower's foundation is very, very fragile. But Prince Charles needs to think about that tarot. He needs to think about the monarchy, and he needs to pick up his eyes and see that the monarchy is depending on him and the way that he acts. And if he brings Harry back with his wife, he is damaging. He is going to damage the foundations of that tower. So this is something that Prince Charles has to think about. He needs to understand that like a lot of things are water under the bridge, and a lot of things that are not repairable. And for the British people, the relationship with Harry, as long as he's married to his wife, is unrepairable, and it's a rift that is not something that can be fixed so easily. So in a way, Charles is in despair because of that. He really misses his child. He misses Harry. He wants to see his grandchildren, and he feels that despair, but he's not seeing the good things that he does have. I mean, he does see it, but it's not as prominent as the things that he already lost. So this is the advice card, and the next card is the card of the near future, and we get the Hangman. So that's this is like amazing, because all cards of past, present, and future are all major arcanas. This is a very spiritual, very, very spiritual voyage that Charles needs to take. And from the father to the mother, this is about changing the point of view. This is about seeing things in a different way. As the Hangman usually does, he is not sacrificing himself. He is happy. He's not suffering because he's hanged, okay? He's not hanged in a way that he is in any way suffering. But this card speaks about changing perspective, seeing the world from a different angle. So understanding that Charles needs to understand that he needs to change his point of view, change his perspective. And it looks to me like the fact that Harry decided not to come to Prince Philip's memorial and will not arrive for the Jubilee. This will show us that in the future, Prince Charles will change his perspective. He will change his point of view, and he will probably be less accepting of Harry's return in the future. But this is in the future. Right now, he still is in that energy of wishing that he could get his son back. But for the future, and when Prince Charles becomes king, I believe that he will change his point of view, and he will realize that bringing Harry back is not going to be beneficial for the royal family, and it will only jeopardize the monarchy and the legacy that his mother is bringing to him. Okay, so the oracle card is a Buddha wisdom card, and that's because I want to give Charles some wisdom going forward in everything that is connected to his son. Not that Charles is watching, but if the universe can send him that realization. So let's see what we get. First, I'm clearing the deck. Okay, so wisdom for Charles, wisdom for Charles, wisdom for Charles. Okay, so the card that I'm getting is the Blue Buddha family of the East. Replace hatred through learning and wisdom. So this card actually tells him to use his wisdom, to use his learning, to understand how to deal with his child, with Harry, with his son, but it doesn't have to hate him. It doesn't mean that he needs to go from love to hate. It doesn't have to be like that. It's just to realize that some things are unrepairable and some things are just not things that you can get, and this is one of them. And this card tells him to use his wisdom, to use his knowledge, to understand that it doesn't mean that he needs to change from love to hate, but to use his wisdom. The second card that I'm getting is the Red Buddha family of the West, which is replace greed by cultivating discrimination. So that's the greed of the Harkles. That's a card that says you just need to realize that they are greedy, and this is what is making them act the way they do, and you need to replace that by cultivating discrimination. So this is just a way of understanding what is ticking for the Sussexes right now, or for the wife right now, and why it is unrepairable. But for at least as long as Harry is still married to her. But doesn't mean that he needs to hate him, but he has to use his wisdom and his learning in order to know how to move forward. So this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment. As always, I love your comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.